It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Testament. Testify, nigga, with Souls of Black.
These guys are a bunch of good white niggers and a red nigger in there.
Right. It's amazing that Chuck Billy, being the big Indian nigger that he is, he's able to sing as well as he does.
It's amazing.
It is.
Especially for a nigger like him.
Right. Next time we have an opportunity to interview Chuck Billy, say, what's up, nigga?
What's up, nigger?
Right. All right. As you know, as most people know, if you follow the news at all, the big news as far as racial tension or racial discussion this week has been the
release of the Donnie V song, White Nigger.
Well, I think that was very now. Here, before I get into this, do you think that the release of that song was meant to correspond with the news of this week?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he would have had enough time to write that gem.
Well, I'm not saying that it wasn't already written. It's just like, hey, this is the perfect time to release this.
Could be. I don't think it's impacting quite the way he expected, though.
Right. Well, this week, TMZ broke a story that the owner of the LA Clippers, Donald Sterling, basically told his chick, who is a mixed origin, if you will, that he doesn't like her posing with quote unquote black people,
right,
or bringing black people to the game. Well, he was making reference to the fact that his girlfriend, who is she's Asian and African American, as it were, to be politically correct. Is that her nationality?
Well, she has a heartbeat, right?
Sure. Well, I guess that just makes her flat out nigger then.
Right.
No, but seriously, she's like Asian black, right? She's kind of like Tiger Woods in a way. She's Blasian. Yeah. Well, anyway, this Donald Sterling audio was released via TMZ that he's making some kind of racial comments.
Sure.
Saying that he didn't like her posing with black people and didn't want her bringing black people to the game, even though a majority of his basketball team is made up of black people.
Yeah, there's two guys on his team that are not black.
Correct.
There's one that's like European white, and then there's one that's just regular old white.
Sure. Well, this has caused such an uproar, in the NBA that the commissioner, Adam Silver, had a news conference.
He did.
That basically outlined the fact that this Donald Sterling was going to be banned from the NBA. Yeah. And maybe among the voting members of the NBA to force him to sell his team.
Good luck with that.
Due to his racial commentary.
Good luck with that one.
So again, in a country where regardless of your nationality or viewpoint, you can't have your opinion regardless of how offensive it might be.
Right. Even if it's recorded in the privacy of your own home.
Right.
Legally.
Sure. So because this guy does not jibe with political correctness, regardless if you agree with his commentary or not, now he's being penalized because he voiced his free speech unbeknownst to him that he was being recorded or that recording was going to be released.
Yeah.
But even if he knew it was going to be released, this guy has the right in this country to say what he wants to say without impunity. But apparently that's not the case.
Well, I guess it depends on the bylaws of the NBA.
Okay.
It depends on what the rules are to be an owner. And I'm sure there's a fucking moral clause or some bullshit. But, again, the fact that they're not taking any consideration of the fact that this fucking cunt recorded this guy in the privacy of his own home illegally is ridiculous.
Sure.
You know, and I get it. What he said was fucking terrible. I get it. He's a fucking scumbag.
Yeah, but nobody's going to sit there and back his words and say, yeah, he had, he was right in saying what he said. I think the correct approach is I don't agree with what he said, but he has the right to say it.
Yeah, and I guarantee you the other 28 fucking owners of these teams in this league, some of them have said the same shit.
Sure.
Or worse. Probably worse.
Right. Well, it's no different than, some radical or fringe group or somebody who's trying to make a point burns the American flag.
Oh, it is different because they burn that in public. This guy did this in the privacy of his own home.
But my point is that you may disagree with it and not like it or find it repulsive, but you have the right to do it if you want to.
How much would you sue this bitch for?
Well, that depends on if she's even worth suing. I mean, does she have any money outside of the fact that she's hooked up with this guy?
Okay, let me change the question then. How much would you pay the hitman?
You know what? At this point, I'm not a player. I don't know what it is to be multi-millionaire guy.
Yeah.
And how it ruins your reputation and your career and your standing within the community. Mm-hmm. But I guess if it tainted my ability to do what it is that I do that makes my money or makes my living or keeps my reputation, I guess it might be worth something to take her out for doing that. And I'm not condoning that.
No.
But everybody as a human being has those thoughts like, man, I'd like to just waste this person.
Realistically, you could totally see this.
Yeah, you could see that happening. Absolutely.
I'm betting within 5 years we find her fucking dead on a railroad track or something.
Sure.
There's no way this old man who's lived his whole life anyway and has $500 million or more, probably more, is just going to let this fly.
Right.
No fucking way.
Well, isn't that always the downfall of most prominent people in the in the public eye is the woman?
Oh yeah.
I watched a documentary on Netflix this week, and I'm gonna just make this brief because I don't want to lose track of what we're doing here. But I watched a documentary called Client Number 9, which is the story of the former New York governor, Elliot Spitzer.
Right, sure.
Now, this guy, very prominent. He comes from money. His background is money. His father was a big real estate mogul.
Right.
So he already came from money.
Right.
But during his tenure as the New York State Attorney General, he cracked down on the corruption in Wall Street.
Yeah.
Now, when you start messing with the money people, money trumps everything.
Sure.
So when you start fucking with somebody's money, especially when you're extremely affluent, and we're talking multi-million billionaires,
right?
You're really playing in the backyard of somebody who could do some major damage to you.
And can get away with it. Right.
Well, this guy cracked down on some very prominent people in the world, and he basically painted a target on his back.
Sure.
This guy, Elliot Spitzer, ran for New York governor and won in a landslide.
Mm-hmm.
But he chose to get himself involved with a escort service, or basically a prostitution ring.
Right.
Of which, when he was attorney general, he helped shut down some of these prostitution rings, and he got involved with one after he became governor.
They couldn't wait to use that on him.
And as soon as that news got out there, or even word of that got out there, this guy's downfall after 1 year of being in the governorship of New York, he had to resign. Gone.
Yep.
So what is it about that pussy? This guy was paying $10,000 a day to have one of his quote unquote favorite girls delivered to him, be it Washington D.C., Dallas, Texas, L.A., Hawaii, wherever it was that he was going. What is it about that pussy that makes it worth $10,000 a day to have her flown out to meet you wherever it is that you are?
That beats me because I can't fucking fathom that.
Yeah, but when you're a billionaire yourself, or you come from money, or affluent, and $10,000 to you to a person like that is like $10 to you and me.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it about that girl? Especially when you're married, got kids, you're in a very prominent public position, that you're willing to gamble that and piss that away just for the company of some coups?
It's that invincibility complex.
What is that?
Can't be caught. They think they can't be caught.
Well,
you've watched enough movies to know that's always what it is. These guys that have power think that they're invincible, and they all get fucking taken down.
Apparently.
Every single one of them.
Every one of them.
Look at that fucking, it wasn't with pussy, but look at that fucking guy, the one that did the major Wall Street thing. What was his name?
Madoff?
Madoff, Bernie Madoff.
Yeah.
This guy just thought he was invincible, and he got fucking lazy. And that's how he got popped.
Yeah.
He wasn't as good with his record keeping, and he got fucking smacked.
Sure.
Because he got lazy.
Yeah.
It's either getting lazy. They think they're invincible. They think they can just chase all the pussy they want. They think they can just spend all the money they want. They think they could just steal as recklessly as they want.
Right.
It's gangster mentality, really.
I suppose it is. Again, I'm not in that position, and obviously you're not in that position.
No.
But even if I got to that point, I don't think I could ever get away with that.
Well, dude, you saw Goodfellas, right?
Absolutely. Love the movie.
You remember the scene with Ray Liotta when he's talking about if we wanted it, we took it. We didn't fucking ask. Everybody that asks is a sap.
Right.
That's how these guys feel when they have fucking infinite amounts of money.
Well, but the thing is they also had the ability to whack somebody who got in their way.
And so do the rich people.
But getting back to the point, and that's a good analogy, bringing this all the way back around.
Yeah.
So you think this Donald Sterling, after this all shakes out, do you think that he'll have that chick whacked?
I do.
Okay. Well, I'm going to...
Yeah, he's that kind of guy.
Okay. I don't know the answer. I'm just asking your opinion.
I absolutely do. He's been a slumlord. He made all his money being a slumlord, so you know that he's done some shit.
All right, so here it is, May 3rd, 2014. Chris Aiken makes the prediction that this chick who brought Donald Sterling down in the sports world...
Yep, she'll be dead before the show ends. Not tonight's, but before the classic metal show goes off the air for good, she'll be dead.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
All right. Well, now that it's on record,
there it is.
If and when that happens,
yeah, don't investigate me. I'm not going to kill her, folks.
Yeah, you're not the nigger who's going to pull the trigger.
Ooh, I'm not that nigger.
All right. Well, anyway, the NBA commissioner Adam Silver made a press conference this week that suspends. Donald Sterling.
Yeah, bans him for life.
Right. And strangely enough, somebody that we've actually covered on the Classic Metal Show attended the press conference.
Yeah.
That announced the banning of Donald Sterling.
That's right. And got off a question.
And I think if you've been listening to the Classic Metal Show for at least the last year and a half to 2 years,
yeah,
you're going to recognize this immediately. So check this out.
8th row in the back, please.
Commissioner Stephie Steph from Harlem Community Radio.
Did Stephie Steph from Harlem Community Radio.
That's right.
Is that Stephie Steph?
Yep.
I am Stephie Steph.
That is Stephie Steph.
From the bathroom or the submarine or wherever it is she broadcasts from. All right, let's see what kind of a question this nigger Stephie Steph gets off.
The NBA considering more African American ownership at this point?
Sorry, where am I looking?
8th row in the back in the middle.
I'm sorry. Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Sure. Stephie Steph from Harlem Community Radio. Is the NBA considering more African American ownership at this point?
Now, how does the NBA have any control over who decides that they want to put up money to buy an NBA team?
Well, they're going to consider.
Yeah, but they don't consider it on race, do they?
No, of course not.
That's what a stupid question.
Well, it's Stephie Steph.
Yeah, but regardless, it's like, is the NBA considering that? Oh, let me see. There's a bunch of black owners over here, and there's a bunch of white niggers over here. I think we're going to grant it to the white niggers because we really don't want the black niggers owning NBA teams.
Well, it may very well be that way.
I don't think that's the case.
Dude, I had this conversation literally today with a guy on Facebook about fucking, it was about black leaders.
Okay.
And this guy said, he was up and down that black people need black leaders.
Do they? Well,
and I said, my answer back was, you know what? Anytime as a race you have to claim a leader because of the race of that person, it fucking degrades the base itself of the individuals. So what it does by saying we have to have Al Sharpton as a black leader, not that anybody wants to claim that fucking piece of shit, but by saying that Al Sharpton is a black leader, what that does is it degrades the fucking any accomplishments any black person does.
Right.
Because they have to be represented by some other guy. They can't represent themselves with their own pride, with their own work, with their own fucking, abilities. It's fucking pathetic, dude.
I agree with that.
Very pathetic.
But again, when you pigeonhole it into, well, the leader has to be of the same nationality as me, well, then what you're doing is you're being racist too.
Right. Exactly.
Because you're saying that we can't follow anyone unless they're the same race as we are.
Who's my white leader?
I don't have one. Do you?
Who's considered a white leader?
A white leader?
Who's considered a white leader? Since Al Sharpton is considered by many to be the black leadership, who's considered to be the white leadership?
I don't really think there's one that stands out that I'm aware of.
I don't think there's anybody considered to be the white leadership. Who's considered to be the gay leadership? No one.
I don't know the answer. Elton John?
No.
I don't think that there's a leader out there in that social realm.
That's my point. Who's considered the Spanish leadership?
Hugo Chavez? He's dead now.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't think that there is a Spanish leader out there.
There's one race that asks for a leadership.
And it has to be of the same race, too.
It has to be the same race, and that's the black leadership.
Right.
There's nobody calling for it in any other place. Why? Because everybody else chooses to stand up with their own accomplishments. Right. I don't want somebody to represent me. I'll represent myself just fine.
Right.
I don't need some fucking guy to go out there and say, this guy represents me. Now, here's an interesting question. This is one that I brought up today, while I was arguing race. Do you know your heritage? Like, fully know it?
No, I don't fully know it. I do know some of it. For me personally, I have a mix. I'm a very, very mixed person. I've got Irish,
okay,
Scottish, Finnish, and Indian in me.
Why do you know this?
Just from my grandparents.
Something?
Yeah, just from my grandparents.
How much of it affects your real life?
It doesn't. Not at all.
Do you go out with pride on, you said Irish, do you go out with pride on St. Patrick's Day?
Not at all.
Yeah. Do you wear green?
No, I do not.
That's the whole point. everybody, we don't need a month. We don't need a day. We don't need, normal people. I'm not saying we being white. I'm saying being anybody.
You be the white nigger.
Well, I'm saying nobody needs a day or a week or a month or whatever. You know what? I'll bring it to where it really is. Sorry that your fucking great-grandparents got fucking enslaved, but I wasn't here for it. So it's not really my fucking problem. It's that simple. I don't care. There's a black president. The highest job, the number one job in the world is held by a black man. So at this point, you don't get to cry about fucking racism.
Right.
You just don't. Do I think that there's racism out there today? Abso-fucking-lutely. There definitely is. And with that, are there problems? Certainly. There certainly are. And are there some people that are more racist than others? Certainly. And you know what? They're allowed. They're allowed to fucking not like people because of their color, because of their creed, because of the way they look at them, because of their fucking toenails, because of whatever. People in today's world, everybody's so fucking uber sensitive about every motherfucking thing. Nobody can stand on their own 2 feet. Everything's got to be about a cause, about a race, about a fucking gender, about who sucks whose dick. It's fucking ridiculous. Judge yourself on yourself and don't worry about everybody else. And guess what? If everybody does that, the racism will fucking fade away.
That's right. And you don't have to repeat nigger in a song 52 times.
No, only 51.
Well, let's see what the answer from the NBA commissioner, Adam Silver, is to Stephie Steph's question.
All right.
We're always open to ownership from people of all races, nationalities, ethnicities. As you know, we have an African-American primary owner in the league right now. Shaquille O'Neal just became a small owner of the Sacramento Kings. David Robinson is an owner of the San Antonio Spurs. Vivek Ranadive, a person of color, born in Mumbai, India,
a person of color.
This, to me, if I was a black man, I would be insulted by this.
A person of color.
I would be. Would you not be insulted by this?
That's a stupid, nondescript answer. It's just like a person of color.
But my point is these guys are, by asking this question, the answer is these guys are not equals. That's the answer. This guy's black, this guy's black, this guy's Indian. Guess what? They also get to be in our club,
right?
Even though they're black,
right?
Even though they're Indian.
Well, again, they segregate them out by their color rather than by their standing in the community.
And that is exactly what Stephie Steph just did with her dumbass question.
Of course, they self-segregate.
Yeah, and then blame everybody else when they do it.
Right.
She just asked the question and segregated. Now Silver's given his answer. This black guy's allowed to be in our club. This black guy's allowed to be in our club. This Indian guy's allowed to be in our club. Well, she brought all that up. Now that I'm saying it, I guarantee you if she heard our broadcast right now talking exactly about this, she'd say that we're being racist.
Yeah, well, the thing is, how about if it's somebody who's qualified with money?
Yeah, well, that's the whole point.
It's like, I'm qualified, I have money, I want to buy a team. Okay, you can buy a team. Go ahead.
I talked about this again. It was a Facebook argument today. But when I was in the service, I had the opportunity to meet and actually serve him coffee, General Powell, Colin Powell.
Isn't he a black guy?
Well,
you served a blackie coffee? Did you serve him black coffee?
No,
what kind of a servant nigger are you, pal?
I know. Isn't that something?
Oh my God. I'm surprised I'm even friends with you.
Well, the point was when I was told that General Powell was coming there, I was in the military. I didn't really think about, wow, this black general is coming here. I was absolutely fucking awestruck that this fucking guy was coming. He was the highest ranking guy in the military at the time. And I was just like, whoa, this fucking guy's going to be here. And then when I met him, he's a nice enough guy, asked me for some coffee. I gave him some coffee. He thanked me, shook my hand when he left, blah, blah, blah. And I never once thought about, wow, this is an incredible black leader. This is an incredible black general. I just thought, wow, man, I'd love to be able to fucking accomplish some of the shit this guy's done.
Right.
And that was it.
And you know why you didn't see him as black?
Because I judged him as a human being?
No, you judged him on his behavior.
Yeah, I just judged him for what he is.
You judged him on his behavior, not on his race.
No, I'd never judge anybody on their race. You know, the worst I've ever been treated by any person was by a white guy. White guy that stole money from my fucking... I think I told this story.
Yeah, of course. You told this story about Chef Scott.
Not Chef Scott. Chef Bill, no. The guy's name was Scott, but wasn't Chef Scott. It was
I
just
know.
Scott.
I was making a joke,
I get
making
it.
reference to a show we did about 2 months ago.
I know. Well, that guy Scott ripped my family off of $6,500, which was, you know, and he was like a close family friend.
Yeah, typical nigger.
Yeah, pretty much. And
if you're ripping off your friends, you're a nigger.
right, as long as you're breathing.
Right.
But that was a white dude. So
Sure.
should I hate the white race now because I got fucked over by a white guy?
Well, absolutely.
All right. Well, then I guess I should start fucking paying attention to race.
All right. I don't expect you to be on the show next week.
All right. Well, dude, the point being, you got to hate people because of their actions, not because of their creed, not because of their color. You got to judge everybody by who they are.
Right.
One at a fucking time. Anytime you judge anybody in a group, I don't give a fuck what group it is and what the stereotype is. If you judge them by a group, you're automatically wrong. You're automatically wrong. Pick any stereotype. Black guys are lazy. Okay? That's a stereotype, right?
Indian guys are cheap.
Indian guys are cheap. Are you going to tell me that there's not one fucking Indian guy that fucking tips 40%?
Right.
Are you going to tell me that there's not one black guy with a good work ethic? Are you going to tell me there's not one Chinese guy with a big cock? Every time you stereotype anybody in any way, shape, or form, you're automatically wrong. So if you want to be wrong, you choose to fucking judge people by race because you're automatically going to be wrong.
Right.
It's a fucking fact. There's no way around it. There's no possible way you can be anything but wrong if you use a stereotype as your judgment factor.
Yeah, and we're looking at you, Adam Silver.
That's right. Well, dude, what's his name? Donald Sterling? This
Yeah.
fucker is going to fucking win this case.
Sure he is.
He is going to fucking sue, and he's going to win. And if I was him, I would never sell the team, which I already saw that he said he's not going to sell the
Yeah,
team.
I wouldn't do it either because it's like, you know what? Fuck you. I bought this team. It doesn't matter what my personal views are.
Yeah. You want me to sell the team? Okay, the price is $5 billion. You want the team? $5 billion. That's the fucking price.
There you go.
Come get it.
Sure.
You know, and let them come get it. I would never sell. You know, and if they come up with $5 billion, I'd say I changed my mind. Now it's $8 billion.
Right.
I would keep fucking, and to be perfectly honest, you know what else I'd do? I'd stop since I'm banned from any activities with the fucking team. Not another fucking penny. Not another penny in salary. Not another penny in fucking, you know, building rental or lease or whatever. Not another penny in fucking paying for food and uniforms and any. I wouldn't pay a fucking penny. I would let that team bankrupt out just to make my point.
Right. And
He's got enough money
And
that
he
it
can
would
afford it, yeah.
He's got enough money where it couldn't matter. And boy, would it be a fucking punch in the fucking NBA's face 2 to 3 times every week next year if it was a fucking empty team.
Sure.
That they couldn't put a team on the floor. That would fucking smash the NBA. And that's what I would do. I'm such a vindictive twat. There's no question that I would be calling every one of these fucking owners that has ever said one off-color thing and be like, you know what? I'm bringing it up in court.
Right.
If you fucking vote against me, I swear to God, I'm bringing up in court that you said this.
Yeah, remember that cocktail party we had out at the regatta?
Yeah.
Remember that time you said this?
Yeah. Remember that time you fucked the fucking waitress when your wife was in the other room? Yeah. It's coming up, asshole. I would be a vindictive, evil fucking asshole. And I would not let any of them off. Why should he? They're trying to, I mean, when you think about it, dude, they're trying to take something worth $500 million away from this man.
Yeah, just because he uttered some distasteful viewpoints.
In the privacy of his own home.
Right.
Where it should never have been disseminated.
Sure.
Fuck them for, and again, I think what he said, absolutely abominable. Just terrible what he said. But he's got the right to say it.
He's got the right to say it. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or not, or whatever. But he, in this country, as of now, he's got the right to say it.
Which one of us would not? If everything that we said in our homes, what person? I don't care who they are, could get away with everything they've ever said in their own home without offending anybody? I don't think there's a such person.
No, I don't. I agree with you.
And I'm talking about the most highly moral people in the world say off-color shit in the privacy of their own home. Everyone does. So this guy being illegally taped, set up by this fucking cunt, fuck that. There's no way. Should they have done something? Yeah, they got to. I get it. They have to do something.
Well, but see, here's the irony of it.
Yeah.
If this guy was such a racist, why would he have a mixed girlfriend?
And why would he be in a business where he makes millionaires out of black guys?
Right.
Every year. Every single year, this guy spends $50 to $80 million on athletes.
If this guy was so repulsed by a race other than white, how could he be banging a chick that's a black mix?
Well, I agree. And maybe it's the thrill of the kill. Who knows? But to me, the biggest issue is this illegally taping of this guy. That to me is the biggest thing. And that they're going to punish this guy for something he said in the privacy of his own home. What the fuck is next?
Yeah.
What's next? Is somebody going to be thrown out of the NBA because they vote for the wrong guy? Because they don't vote for Obama?
Right.
I mean, you know how it is, man. Anytime you say anything bad about Obama, you're a racist.
Sure.
So if I say, if fucking Mark Cuban tomorrow says, you know what, everything Obama does is bad policy, that would make him a racist in some people's circles,
sure
right?
It would.
So should he be thrown out of the league?
Absolutely not.
That's the point, man. They're way over the edge. And this guy is going to fucking... If I was Sterling, I would go into court, and this is the easiest win he's got. I would go into court. I would say, right over there sitting is Spike Lee. He's employed by the NBA. Rest my case. Because Spike Lee, during the Trayvon Martin trial, came out and said he feels like he should be able to go out and shoot white people.
Right. And not only that, he was the one who Twittered the address and phone number of the wrong person.
Yeah. But he's employed by the NBA.
Yeah, no problem there.
No problem there.
Yeah, he put some innocent people in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Due to his tweeting of phone numbers and addresses of people that were named George Zimmerman, and It was the wrong George Zimmerman.
But he also fucking said point blank on the record, same as Mr. Sterling here, I think I should go shoot white people. That's his quote. He's so mad he needs to go shoot white people. Why is he not unemployed? That's the point. And if I was Sterling, I would bring that. That would be front and center in my court case. The hypocrisy of the NBA.
Yeah, but you know what the undertone of that would be, don't you?
What?
Well, you can't really hold him accountable because he's an ignorant nigger.
Yeah.
That's the undertone.
But you know what? For me, if I was Sterling, that would be my argument.
I would agree. I'm not disagreeing with you, but that would be the undertone statement, though.
Do you realize?
Not in those words, mind you.
I know.
But that would be the implication.
Do you realize if he goes to court how much he's going to get? This is not going to be like a $10 million lawsuit. They're talking about a $500 million team. This guy's going to sue for $5 billion or some crazy amount.
Yeah, he's gonna leverage that 10% up to 100%.
That's what I mean. So he's going to sue for what? $5 billion?
$5 billion.
He's going to sue for $5 billion.
Sure.
A settlement will cost him half. A settlement might bankrupt the NBA.
Right.
You know, I mean, this is a fucking mess. All because they're fucking overreacting.
Exactly.
They're listening to the fucking players instead of listening to their fucking lawyers. There's no way their lawyers told them, okay, fire this guy immediately.
Well, again, it all comes down to public image. Oh my God, we can't have a guy like this associated with, as you put, our club.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this court case.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch and laugh.
Sure.
I really can't. And hopefully Stephie Steph will be there to cover it.
Well, let's see what else Mr. Adam Silver has to say.
All right.
Oh, is that a race? Is that a race being silver?
I'm sure he's Jewish, so
instead he's black or purple or white or silver.
Yeah, or silver maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Isn't Adam the name of the first man on Earth? He's Adam Silver.
He's Adam Silver.
Right. Adam and Eve. Adam Silver. And I'm talking about sex toys or dildos here.
No, you're talking about niggers.
Right.
Adam Silver.
He's a silver nigger.
Silver nigger.
Became the primary owner of the Sacramento Kings, so I believe we have a very diverse league, but I'd always like to see it become even more diverse.
What about Magic Johnson? Is that an option at this point?
Magic Johnson knows he's always welcome as an owner in this league.
What is her questioning? I don't get this. It's just like if a guy has money and he qualifies for whatever the qualifications are, why is she pointing out what their race is, whether they can own a team or not?
Needs to be more.
I don't get
More
that.
of what I am.
Well, Magic Johnson, is he a consideration? Does he have the money to buy a team? Well, if he does, and if he qualifies, why does it make a difference?
Yeah, I mean,
what a stupid line of questioning.
Well, it is Stephie Steph.
This is just
infuriating.
It is infuriating. Well, what about Magic Johnson? Does he qualify?
Yeah.
What a stupid question. What are you asking? Does he qualify because he's a nigger?
Oh,
is that what she's asking?
Jesus Christ.
I mean, really, is that what she's asking?
No, it seems to be. I don't know that I would go all the way with nigger, maybe black man.
Well, I'm only making reference to the Donnie V song.
I know that.
But stupid.
Yeah.
What a stupid question.
No, she's a twat.
He's been a part owner in the past of the Los Angeles Lakers, and he's always welcome and a close friend of the NBA family.
Thank you.
On your left, Adam.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you.
That's it.
Okay. Thanks for checking in, Stephie Steph.
Thanks, Stephie.
Thanks for turning a racial thing into a non-racial thing into something racial.
Yeah, well, it was always a racial thing.
Yeah,
so
well, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Stephie.
What a stupid line of question. And how did she even get into the press conference?
Didn't you hear? She has credentials.
Okay, who gave her the credentials?
Harlem Free Press or what? Fuck, that was the Harlem.
Yeah, it was the Harlem Free Press.
Harlem Community fucking Radio.
Oh my God. What a stupid question. No, does Magic Johnson have the money? Does he qualify to own a team? Well, I guess he would be a consideration.
Yeah, he would be.
Oh, is he considered because he's black?
Yeah.
That's what she's asking.
But yet, what's funny is, what if he answered, you know what, that's the only reason he's considered?
Right, because he's black.
Would that be racist?
It would be racist. What a stupid thing. When are these people ever going to get it out of their head? You know what? And I'm not going to try to implicate anybody here, but our good friend Kurgan,
yeah,
he expressed to us, and I just wish that we had the microphones on, and maybe somewhere down the road,
yeah,
we can have him on. But just given the nature of his circumstances, that's all I'm going to say.
Right,
we could get him on. He told us personally in your home how outraged he was over that segment that we did with Black Women in Metal.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I would love to get his true opinions on, but at this point, it's just not possible.
Yeah, I don't think, because...
regardless of what the reason is.
Yeah.
But down the road, I know there's going to be a time where we're going to be able to get him on to where he can basically tell his side.
Sure.
Or tell his viewpoint, rather, not his side, but his viewpoint of his thoughts on these kind of things.
Right.
Because it's ridiculous. And just for her to ask the stupid question, well, are you considering more minorities in the league? And are you considering Magic Johnson? Could he be a consideration? It's like, what difference does it make?
Yeah. This is how much money's he got.
Yeah.
He could be a consideration.
If he can afford it and his group or whomever he's affiliated with can afford it,
right?
Why wouldn't they be a consideration?
Yeah, I got news for you, Stephie Steph. Both you and I have something in common. If we have enough money, we could be considered for it.
Sure. What a dumb question.
Dumbass.
That's freaking unbelievable to me.
She's a dope.
It doesn't matter whether she's a dope or not. It's just that thought, that line of questioning is just idiotic.
Mm-hmm.